It's Wildlife Wednesdays and I'm in my garden. It's a bit blowy, so I've got this little mic on and I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll see. So I kind of pick which animal to do each week based on what I've seen during that week. And this week, almost every day, we've been blessed with a little charm of goldfinches to our garden. And so this week, it's all going to be about goldfinches. Now these birds are one of my favourite UK birds. And these birds are quite special to me because when I was little, my granddad used to keep an aviary full of finches, goldfinches, greenfinches, canaries, quail. He used to set it up in a real sort of naturalistic way, bits of hazel and gorse, and teach me about their natural nesting habits. I used to love going in there, listening to their song and watching their behaviours and stuff like this. And so whenever I see goldfinches, it always takes me back. Now the full name of these birds are the European goldfinch, which distinguish them from the American goldfinch, because there is an American goldfinch as well. And they are easily recognisable when you see them because they've got a lovely bright red face, white cheek patches, and they've got a really distinctive yellow band on their wing, which where they get the name goldfinch from. And their diet is mainly consists of seeds. Might be the odd sort of spider or aphid here and there, but mainly it's just seeds. And they've got an unusually pointed beak for a finch, which means that they can access otherwise inaccessible seeds like from thistles and teasels and things like that. The males and the females of these birds almost look identical, right? But if you can get a closer look, you can get some binoculars or with a camera or something like that, you might be able to see the difference, because the males, the red bit on their face tends to go back behind their eye, whereas the females kind of stops just above their eye. There is a bit of variation in this, so it's not a guaranteed way to tell, but it's just sort of like a thing to look out for. There's also a slight difference as well in their beaks. Now you probably won't be able to see this, but the males have got a larger, like a longer beak, which is stronger than the females. This does two things. It allows for them to eat different seeds so that they're not competing with the females, broadens up the variety of food that they can eat, because obviously being seed eaters, sometimes certain times of the year seeds can be quite scarce. And then in the winter it opens up the possibility for males to eat tree seeds from things like alder and birch and things like that. So what you'll find is in the winter the males have the ability to overwinter in the UK, whereas the females, they can't access the food. All right, and so they will probably head off to warmer climates like the Mediterranean, and I don't blame them. So the males are quite famous and prized for their songs. They can sing such a lovely songs. One flying over now, but they aren't born knowing how to do this. Like us, like when we're little, we get taught how to talk by other adults. So do these guys. They get taught how to do their songs by other adult goldfinches, and they've got a prime learning window, probably about 20 to 80 days, something in there, where they learn their songs. And if they get taken away from their groups before that, then their song will never develop, and it will always be a pretty boring, undynamic song. And this will probably have a detrimental effect later on when they start to mature, when they try to attract mates and things like this. Now, although I did say that my connection to these birds are through my granddad's aviary, I will mention that he always bought his birds from reputable breeders and never from wild caught birds, because one of the biggest historical threats to these birds was actually the songbird trade. Before the wild bird protection laws were put in place, people used to go and capture wild goldfinches and put them in cages. This and the rise of industrial farming led to a massive decline in numbers. And by the 1980s, there was only about half of all the wild goldfinches left in England. So the Society for Protection of Birds, that's a mouthful, now called the RSPB, decided to do something about it. And they set about a motion to put in legal protection for wild birds and also to encourage more wildlife friendly farming. And now that drastic plummet line from birds has now flipped, and now we're seeing a drastic recovery of goldfinches, which means these guys are a proper success story in modern conservation. So if you want to see some of these amazing little goldfinches in the garden, I recommend planting some teasels, planting some thistles, and getting some of these special adapted Niger seed bird feeders. Now, because they've got them long pointed beaks, they're one of the few birds that can get into there, so they really bring them in. So until next time, I'll see you later, you little rascals. Woo.